we will be performing supine hip flexion end range rotations. So the end range rotations are just further along the line in terms of overall complexity when we look at the hip flexion challenges. So we moved from pails and rails, which we opened up more range of motion. We went into the passive range holds, passive range liftoffs, and now we are into end range rotations where we're not only performing the liftoff, we're pulling into our end range, but now we are performing circles with that hip. So imagine like you had a magic marker on your knee and you're just trying to draw the cleanest, smoothest circle you possibly can at near the end range as you possibly can. So as you come up over into that end range, the circle may get a little squiggly, may get a little bumpy. That's okay, that just shows that we're pulling into that end range and we don't have as much control the nearer the end range we get to. So it's gonna be the same setup as the supine holds, passive range liftoffs. You're just gonna be laying on your back. You're gonna take your bottom leg straight, lay on your back, keep that core engaged. From here, what I'm gonna do is just like my passive range liftoffs, I'll find my passive end range, come out of it just a little bit. So what I'm gonna do from here is I could take my hands here and just leave them there so I know where my kind of pull off point would be. But we've done the passive range liftoff, so we know that we can pull from here and I can get into my active end range. So I'm gonna make sure I keep this position actively. I'm gonna take my hands into the floor just to give me a little bit more stability. And again, remember I have a magic marker on this knee, so I'm pulling up and then I'm trying to draw counter-clockwise or clockwise circles in one direction, complete the designated amount of reps, and then let's go right back into the opposite direction circles. Every time I come up over the top, try to pull up as high into my active end range as I possibly can, going slow, trying to keep that circle nice and as smooth as possible. You could also draw small circles or you could draw larger circles. Again, every time trying to come up into that end range as much as you can. So you complete for the designated amount of reps going clockwise, designated amount of reps going counterclockwise, just going nice and slow, trying to keep the rest of the body still, pulling up into your active end range every time you complete the top of that circle. You then set down, reset the position, big breath in, and then do the same number of reps on the other side. So one side may be a little bit different than the other. So depending on your program, you may be doing more circles on one side, you may be doing smaller circles on one side, just dependent on the program that you're following and your needs, your goals, and your abilities. But those are supine, hip flexion, and range rotations.